You have big dreams of losing weight and creating a healthy, joyful life. But you find yourself craving sugar, caught up in what the scale says, and diet hopping. Dieting is the old way of losing weight. And the good news is I'm going to give you a new way of eating so you can ditch diets for good and build a healthy relationship with real food. My name is Megan Olson, certified nutrition practitioner, creator of Skinny Fitalicious, and your host of the Dish on Diets show. Today we're talking about the psychology of weight loss, because you do not have a weight loss problem. You can go on any diet and lose weight. You have a weight gaining problem when you're not on a diet. When you're not on a diet, you're slowly gaining weight, and then you're having to go find a diet to lose weight. That's not a weight loss problem. That's a weight gaining problem when you are just living your normal life, not on a diet. Anytime you're not severely restricting your calories and starving, cutting out foods like carbs, going back to keto, going back to Weight Watchers for the 20th time, doing Optavia or some shake program or fasting. Anytime you're not on a diet and severely restricting yourself, you are actively, slowly gaining weight just in your normal day-to-day life. And that is not a weight loss problem. That is a weight gaining problem. You can literally do any mainstream diet and lose weight. They all are just ways of getting you into a calorie deficit. But if you can't keep it off, that's the real issue. Because your normal life causes you to gain weight slowly, gradually over time. So you can do any mainstream diet and lose weight, but you can't keep it off because they don't teach you how to eat like a normal person. You do that diet, you lose weight, then you go back to your normal life and regain the weight, and you're back to searching for a diet to lose weight. Your normal life and how you're living your normal life is causing you to gain weight slowly over time. That is not a weight loss problem. That is a weight gaining problem. When I was 215 pounds, I always thought if I could just stick it out long enough on a diet, I could lose weight and go back to my normal life. It never dawned on me when I was 215 pounds that my normal life was a real issue. And I've been a nutritionist now for 11 years, and I've helped 1,000 plus women over 35 on their journeys. I also lost my own 80 pounds 17 years ago. This is a pattern I've seen in myself, as well as so many of the clients that I've worked with throughout the years, always thinking this is a weight loss problem. I need to lose weight. If I could just do this long enough to lose weight, right? You're always thinking this is a weight loss problem, and then you're out searching for a diet plan to quickly fix the weight loss problem. I was doing the same thing too. I was living a dieter's lifestyle. Diet, then go back to normal. Diet, then go back to normal. Most women over 35 are doing the same thing that I was doing. They're living that dieter's lifestyle. Like dieting, restricting, starving, counting calories has become part of your entire life. You're always gaining weight when you're living your normal life and not paying attention to how you're fueling your body. And then you're always trying to lose weight by going on some diet. So you're just in this pattern of constantly looking for diets and chasing trends and trying different things. And you're never really getting to a place where you're healthy and you have, these healthy behaviors with food and exercise that you're really consistent with. And you're not really addressing like the root cause of your weight gain in the first place, which is how you're living your normal life. And until you really dig deep into that, and you just kind of keep living like this dieter's lifestyle, like I did for so many years. And this is where the first piece of psychology of weight loss comes in, because you must accept that the way you're living your normal life, there's things that have to change because it's causing weight gain slowly over time. You don't have to drastically overhaul your lifestyle overnight, but there's small baby steps that have to change in order to maintain weight loss forever. Forever is the goal. Because whatever is slowly causing you to gain weight over time, that is what you have to adjust. And you need to take baby steps to get there. You must accept you can't go back to the normal lifestyle, to your normal ways that caused the weight gain in the first place. Most women miss this acceptance because they're like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I want to be unfat right now. Get me unfat. I'll do whatever it takes to get unfat. And so you do whatever extreme thing for like 3 months or 3 weeks or 6 months to get unfat. But then you go back to your normal life and then you're back to slowly gaining weight back. If you want to become leaner and healthier and age well and stay there forever, there's got to be an acceptance that you can't go back to your normal life that's caused the weight gain in the first place. And I know that this acceptance is so hard because when I was 215 pounds, I had to come to this realization too. But accepting that, hey, I can no longer sit on the couch all weekend long in the winter because I don't feel like moving my body and getting steps. I can't do that if I want to be leaner, healthier, age well, and keep all my weight loss results forever. You can't be that way anymore. You can't live that way anymore. You have to be somebody who moves all year long and finds solutions to moving even when it's cold outside. Okay? Here's the second psychology piece of weight loss. And this is the most important part to listen to, ladies. Because if you want to be healthy the rest of your life and age well and maintain weight loss the rest of your life, you can't approach changing your lifestyle by doing the same diet tricks you've always done. When I begin working with new clients, I always see them reverting to their diet mentality and trying to repeat the same things that didn't work. I catch them on this and I gently question them to get them to think differently. And here's a few examples to highlight what I mean by this. Just from a few clients who started working with me recently. So one of my clients has dieted her entire life, probably like many of you. And she told me that every time she starts a diet, she eats hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. Her normal lifestyle is getting a McDonald's egg sandwich. And I asked her, do you like eating hard-boiled eggs for breakfast? And she told me, well, that's what I always eat when I'm trying to lose weight and I go on a diet. But not really. That is exactly why my client has struggled to lose weight almost her entire life, because her approach is too extreme. Going from McDonald's egg sandwich every day to hard-boiled eggs, that's extreme. Most of you don't realize that. And she had no idea that she was still reverting back into this diet mentality. She just thinks that's normal. She's like, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what being healthy is all about. She had no idea that's not normal and that's not how you do any of this stuff until I pointed it out to her. You see, this is why so many of you struggle. You're taking healthy foods and acting like an extreme dieter. You have an unhealthy behavior with healthy foods. You're not actually building a way of eating that's healthy, balanced, normal, and enjoyable. Yes, a hard-boiled egg is a healthy food, but first, that is not a meal. And second, that is way too extreme of a change from a McDonald's egg sandwich. You can't do that. Remember, you have a weight gaining problem when you're not on a diet. So if you are taking healthy foods and then trying to crash diet with healthy foods, it's only a matter of time before you get sick of that and you return to your normal life where you're slowly gaining weight again. Listen, this is the thing many of you are doing, and this is what's making it so hard, because you keep trying to do it like this and you're wondering what's wrong with you. You can't do this anymore. You need to build a way of eating based on your own personal preferences. That's the psychology. If it's not based on your preferences and things that are enjoyable, you're not going to want to do it. There's no trick that's going to make you do it. And this is what I help my clients with, is figuring out how to build a way of eating based on their personal preferences and things that they enjoy. Not me, them. It's not Megan's eating plan, their eating plan. And this is what I help them build, along with undieting their brain, because they still think in this dieter's mentality. They still think this is normal. Again, because you're still thinking this is a weight loss problem and you're not seeing it's a weight gaining problem when you're living your normal life and not on a diet, and that you need to build a way of eating that you enjoy so you can be consistent with it for the next 20, 30 or more years of your life so you can maintain weight loss the rest of your life. As a side note, the same client I'm talking about, I coached her on eating pizza. And you know what she said to me? That she always quit eating pizza every time she was trying to lose weight, and how she realized during our coaching session that she couldn't do that anymore if she wanted to lose weight for good. Right, because unless you're going to give up pizza for the rest of your life, how will you ever know how to eat it to stay thin and healthy the rest of your life? These are literally new skills that you learn when you go on a weight loss journey that help you build a healthy, balanced lifestyle that's enjoyable. Nobody ever goes on a rigid diet and is like, yeah, I totally love this and I want to do this the rest of my life. Like, really? I think that's what's so crazy. So many of you are living in the land of thinking that's what it's all about, and everybody just had this amazing willpower that you don't have. No. This is exactly what I help my clients with because they can't see it. When you're in it, you can't see it. Most women are experts in cutting out foods like pizza. And then when you do eat pizza, you feel guilty because by cutting it out, you are saying this food is wrong. And when you feel guilty because you think you did something wrong, you overeat and you are more likely to backslide into unhealthy habits with food, which is why it is so important to build things like pizza, if you like it, into your plan. If you don't like it, you don't have to build it into your plan. Should you eat pizza every day? No, probably not. And you're all smart enough to figure that out. You probably don't give your pizza to your kids 3 times a day, every day of the week, right? Same thing with you, right? But if you want to master that healthy lifestyle so that you get weight loss and you maintain weight loss forever, then you must build the skill of including foods that you enjoy and build a way of eating based on your own preferences. And no diet, no mainstream diet is out there that's going to teach you that skill. That is what nutritionists like me, that's what they teach us in school. We are trained to help people develop that skill, help people make sustainable changes like this. Here's another example. One of my clients told me that she thought she should cut out her after dinner snack to lose weight. And I asked her, well, do you enjoy having a snack after dinner? And she said, well, actually, I do. Again, this is another example of diet mentality and you trying to manipulate foods versus building an enjoyable way of eating that's going to work for you long term. You know, I explained to my client, like, if the goal is to have an enjoyable way of eating forever, then we shouldn't cut things out that bring us joy, like an after dinner snack. And she was like, oh, you know, and she realized as we were coaching on this topic that she needs to work on building that snack after dinner into her plan instead of cutting it out. And that by cutting it out, she was acting like a dieter, but she didn't realize that. She didn't connect that dot that she had been doing that until I started asking her these questions. And this is the thing. This is why, so many people struggle on their weight loss journey. You're like, you really love dessert. And instead of building it into your plan, you're like, no, I have to punish myself to the ultimate level because I got these 40 pounds to lose. I better just cut that out. No joy for me. I mean, you're going on the diet and then you do all these extreme things with food and you don't even recognize that you're still doing all this extreme diet stuff. Like you're living in the land of diet mentality. And trust me, I never knew I was doing this stuff either. It's like when you are so entrenched in diet culture land, you just don't see it. And that's why so many of you need help and are struggling, because you go to this extreme place to lose weight, but then you go back to your normal way of living and eating at some point after losing weight, and you're back to slowly gaining weight over time. The number one thing you must understand is you can't keep repeating that. The old diet patterns, I'm on a diet, I need to eat hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, and I need to cut out my after-dinner snack, and no desserts for me, no pizza. You have to stop doing it that way. You want to build a lifestyle with an enjoyable eating structure based on your own personal preferences. Not just go on a diet, not play tricks with food and cut things out, not just count calories. In fact, this is why many women struggle with calorie counting, because they're still in that dieter's mentality and taking these extreme approaches with healthy foods. This is why your calories don't work, because eating hard-boiled eggs for breakfast every day really sucks. That's not even a meal, right? It feels terrible. And you're like just hoping, well, hopefully someday I'll just get used to this and I'll really like eating this every day if I just force myself to do it long enough and I lose weight and I love myself. Except that doesn't work. And no mainstream diet will teach you how to build a way of eating based on your personal preferences. A lot of diets out there have healthy foods in them, which is exactly why they are misleading, because they're not sustainable. Take Whole30 as an example. I did a podcast on this a while back. You know, everybody goes on Whole30 in January to reset their sugar cravings. And then the rest of the year, they're just living their normal life, you know, not paying attention to how they're feeding their body or how they're exercising or moving, right? It's like, so the 30 days where you did the extreme thing of like cutting out all these foods and, you know, having all these nutrient dense foods, I mean, great, except that's 30 days out of 365 days. That's wildly inconsistent, right? You're really not actually moving the needle in terms of your health by doing something so extreme in 30 days. Let's try to be more middle ground for 365 days versus extreme for 30 days. But if you're following a diet with a name like that, where somebody's telling you, eat this, don't eat that, cut this out, stay away from this, this is evil, I guarantee it's not going to teach you how to build a way of eating you can stick to so that you can become leaner and healthier and age well and keep your weight loss results forever. It's not. And remember, you do not have a weight loss problem. You have a weight gaining issue when you're not on a diet and you're living your normal life. Your normal life and how you look at feeding your body, your relationship with food, and how you're approaching losing weight needs adjustments. So your homework is to evaluate how you're living your normal life. Be a spectator. Do an audit. How are you living your life? Do you spend most of the weekend on the couch? How active are you? Are you mostly in a seated position all day? Are you mostly sitting all winter long? Like during the summer you move, but in the winter you don't? You can't become leaner, healthier, age well, and stay there if your lifestyle is sitting on the couch all weekend because it's cold outside. Finding solutions to move your body, even when it's cold, is something you got to do to get leaner and healthier, because your normal is causing you to stay at that weight and slowly gain weight over time. How are you feeding your body? Do you eat actual meals, or are you eating single foods like hard-boiled eggs and saying that's a meal? That's not a meal. Are you eating lean protein and fiber over the course of most days? Are you getting enough? Do you even know how much you should be aiming for? Listen, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm saying this to like help you see, like, audit how you live your normal life without judgment. Don't judge yourself, because nobody has probably taught you these skills before. We should be taught them in school, but we're not. So when you audit just how you're living your normal life, think about the course of a year and how you're living your normal life. It's going to give you a lot of clues about what's causing your weight gain, because it's not a weight loss problem, it's a weight gaining problem. And when you audit your normal life, these are the areas you want to take baby steps to improve upon without being a crazy extreme dieter. When I was 215 pounds, and I've talked about this before, I was living the chair-to-chair lifestyle, relocating from chair to chair all day long. During the summer, I was sitting even more because I live in Phoenix and it's too hot outside. So I had to find solutions to move my body in the summer because outdoors wasn't an option. I used to have a gym 5 minutes away from my house, so I could pop into that gym anytime I wanted and go use a treadmill. And then they closed it down at the end of last year. So now I ended up buying a walking pad so I have something at my house, because there's no way I'm getting in my car and driving 20 to 30 minutes in Phoenix traffic to get to a gym to use a treadmill. So I invested in a walking pad. I found solutions as life threw different challenges my way. right? When I was 215 pounds, I was barely eating anything for breakfast and lunch. And then I was overeating a lot of calories at night. I was not intentional at all about how I ate. I was just eating erratically. Oh, it's lunch. What am I eating? I would just like grab whatever was easiest, like some random snack. I never put any forethought into what I was eating. If you want to be leaner and stay there forever and be healthy forever, you do have to put intention behind what you're eating, which is why repeating a lot of things is very helpful because nobody has time or energy to think about what they're eating. So when I began losing my 80 pounds 17 years ago, I began with just a 10-minute walk. Remember, baby steps. I started with just a 10-minute walk and I built the skill. It's a skill of moving your body every day, and just built that skill of doing that 10-minute walk daily for many, many weeks. I didn't do anything else. I didn't change anything else. I just got really good at moving my body. That was the only thing I worked on. Then over time, I gradually would go a little bit further and increase how much I was walking. And as I did that, I started adding in more lean protein, fruits and vegetables, and fiber to my meals. I never cut any foods out. In fact, I made sure I included a cookie with lunch. I included a snack with dinner. I budgeted it for it within my calories, and I planned for it ahead of time. I was intentional and I built a way of eating that works for me to where it became my new normal. And I like it because it's all with foods that I like. I built a new normal lifestyle that has allowed me to maintain an 80-pound weight loss for 17 years. Nobody has lost weight by making themselves miserable. Nobody. But for me, it was a process of transforming and building new skills that I did not have. I didn't have the skill of working out and lifting weights. Many of you see me post videos of myself on Instagram of lifting weights. I didn't know how to do any of that. I had to build that skill over time. I didn't have that. And that's something I really stress to my clients. You are building new skill sets that you don't have yet, like playing the piano. You may not know how to play the piano in the beginning, but you practice playing the piano before it becomes easier and a normal thing to you. Nutrition and exercise are skills that you practice too. And mainstream diets are not teaching you those skills. They're only teaching you to be a dieter. So the psychology of weight loss, number one, you have a weight gaining issue, not a weight loss issue. Accept that the way you're living your normal life must change because it's slowly causing you to gain weight over time. And in order to maintain weight loss forever, you must accept you can't go back. You can never go back. You can't go back to that lifestyle that caused the weight gain. You can't do it. You can never do that. It's kind of like going back to an abusive relationship. You cannot go back and repeat the same thing. Now, psychology of weight loss, number two, and most important part, stop doing extreme things with food to lose weight. Most of you still imagine something extreme in your mind when I say lifestyle change. My client Lanita spoke perfectly about this in her podcast with me last year. Most of you still interpret lifestyle change as cutting things out that you enjoy and forcing yourself to eat just bland, healthy foods and exercise that you hate. You're still in that diet mentality, and that's why your brain can't even comprehend a land where you do something enjoyable and lose weight and keep it off forever, because you actually want to continue doing those things. But I guarantee it's there. You just haven't found it yet because you're still kind of in that diet land. And there's part of you that doesn't realize that it's attainable. Because again, you've done so many crappy diets and you need somebody who's a powerful guide to help get you there. And that's exactly what nutritionists like me are trained to do. This is what they teach us in school. Like I had to take all kinds of classes in counseling people on making behavior changes. I had to take psychology classes, things like that. Like this is exactly what nutritionists are trained to do. So you know where to reach me if you need help. I hope that this resonated with you today. That's all I have for you today. Remember, weight loss is not the problem. Weight gain when you're not on a diet, living your normal life, that is the issue. Talk to you soon.
Hey, if you enjoyed this podcast, you have to come check out my free weight loss class. It's the 5 steps to lasting weight loss, how hormones impact weight loss, and the truth about lasting weight loss without relying on willpower, workouts, or deprivation. Click the link in the show notes to watch that free class today. And if you are a woman over 35 with 20 to 50 or more pounds to lose, schedule a free weight loss breakthrough session with me after you watch that class, and let's talk about your 20 to 50 or more pound weight loss plan.
Hi, I'm Katie Duke, and I've been a nurse for over 20 years. Listen, I used to think that I was my most stylish in my 20s, but honestly, style and confidence only get better with age. And that is why I love Figs. These scrubs are beautiful, comfortable, and they are built to last. They're not those boxy, scratchy uniforms that we all started out in. No. These fit perfectly. They feel amazing, and the quality is just wow! My favorite color? Burgundy. It's chic, it's timeless, and it's even the same color as my apartment, because I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I love adding custom embroidery to make my scrubs as personal as my style. And since I work in telehealth, my embroidered figs even double as my ID badge. It's never too late to reinvent yourself or your scrubs. Get 15% off your first order at wearfigs.com with the code FIGSRX. That's wearfigs.com, code FIGSRX for 15% off your first order.